All right, so today I'll be talking about my country, Malawi. And as you can see here, this is a focused in map, zoomed in of Malawi and the surrounding countries, such as Tanzania, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, and Zambia. And the capital is Lilongwe. These are two photos that I found of the city, the capital city, many buildings, and yeah. These are two images of two rural images. In the poorer side. So the GDP and GDP per capita. So the GDP, the highest was at 8 billion USD. This was in 2011, and it went all the way down to 6.03 in 2012, and has been continuously going up and down until 2019, where it's at 7. So it went back. It got back up. And GDP per capita is at an all-time high at 2018 at 516.8 USD. And this is due to the incomes rising and um, higher employment rates. So the poverty trap diagram. So low incomes means less money, and with less money, one has low savings. This causes low investments, and low investments means low productivity because the country or the company is not getting any investments and will not hire workers um, to produce their product. As well as there's going to be low demand due to the low incomes because um, these people with the low incomes cannot invest in companies as well. And low incomes also leads to malnutrition as they simply can't afford food and they can't afford products to keep them healthy. And malnutrition causes low productivity as well as uh, the people might have, a lot of illnesses and obstacles and less energy in order to do their job. Economic development, so the health 63.8 in 2019, an increase a lot from 49.1 in 1990. Life expectancy at birth for females is 66.9 and for males it's 60.7. Education, so expected years of schooling is 11. Literacy rate, adult percentage, ages 15 and older is 62.1%. Man years of schooling for males is 4.6 and for females is 4.1. Um, this is because of the low incomes in the country, and the parents or guardians of these children are forced are forced to take out their children out of their schools in order to focus on labor, in order to increase the household's income, and this causes a decrease in the literacy rate, as the children are now stuck in this poverty trap of not getting a higher education and not getting a higher income job. So income, gross national income is 1,159. Gross fixed capital formation is 13.4%, and income index is 0.370. So work employment and vulnerability employment to population ratio percent ages 15 and older is 73.1. Child labor percent ages from 5 to 17, which is 19.4, meaning that the child labor is pretty high. Labor force participation rate is 77.3. Unemployment total percent of labor force is 5.4, which isn't that bad. But the average wanted is around 2 or 3%. Energy sources. Malawi has a large potential for renewable energy exploitation in a number of areas, such as solar energy, biomass, hydropower, and geothermal and wind energy. Seen in this pie chart to the right, traditional biomasses is very focused on in the sources used. So in terms of exports for Malawi, the primary sector, agriculture, is agriculture, and the top three in agriculture is unmanufactured tobacco, tea, solid soybean residue. This is from the resources found in that country. Secondary sector is services, for example, ICT, travel and tourism, and insurance and finance. And the imports are chemicals or medicine and health-related subsistence of agriculture for food and plants that they cannot grow in their own country, and services to complete the products for final products in ICT or tourism as well. Malawi currency um, is Kwacha exchange rate is the USD to MWK rate. The currency code for Kwachas is MWK, and the currency symbol is MK. So the FDI, financial direct investments, apart from agriculture and minerals, Malawi also offers investment opportunities in agro-processing, manufacturing, and tourism. Over the past 5 years, the main investing countries have been Australia, China, India, the Republic of Korea, South Africa, and the UAE and the UK. The all-time high is 598.8. This is in 2014. Investments have decreased due to incomes also decreasing, and the poverty rate has also increased in the country. Less companies to invest in Malawi. And yeah, so trade agreements. Some of the trade agreements for Malawi is the African Free Trade Zone, the Eastern and Southern Africa COMESA, the Southern Africa Development Community SADC, and some bilateral trades with surrounding countries. They have an agreement with the EU and the African, Caribbean, Pacific ACP countries, and the United States USAGOA, and yeah, aid in Malawi. So the NGOs is non-governmental organizations, and an example I found for my country is child-focused community development in Malawi. This is for the child labor and focusing on increasing the literacy in the country. Humanitarian aid is Food for Peace Development Food Assistance Program. This is for low-income families to just for food and survival. Net official development assistance in Malawi was reported at 151547000 USD in 2017, and this is from UN agencies, DAC donors from the US and other countries such as Sweden, Japan, Germany. The corruption level perceptions index ranks countries and the territories based on how corrupt their public sector is perceived to be. A country or territory's rank indicates its position relative to the other countries and territories in the index. Malawi is the 123rd least corrupt nation out of the 180 countries, according to the 2019 Corruption Perceptions Index. The highest is 123 and the lowest was 443. Poverty data: Malawi is one of the poorest countries in the world, with 50.7% of the population living below the poverty line and 25% living in extreme poverty. Out of the total rural population, 57% is poor compared to 17% of the urban population. This is my macroeconomic diagram. I picked this because of the ICT products that they create in the country and they export and import. And I think that foreign countries would want to, in the future, invest in this, which will increase the SRAS, shifting it to the right, decreasing unemployment, and yeah, it'll take the country to economic growth. These are my citations, and yeah, thank you so much.